Welcome, all you hockey fans out there, to the second annual Eagle Showcase. My name is Gary Allen, waiting for Blaine Spencer, the play-by-play guy, to come up here. We're at the University Recreation Center in Cheney, Washington. We got a game, the second game of today, against the University of Idaho Vandals against the Utah Valley Wolverines, playing tonight, and should be an interesting contest. I've not got the opportunity to watch Idaho this year. I saw them a couple years ago, but Utah Valley I had the pleasure of watching last night, and they were an outstanding hockey club. So it'll be interesting to see how the Vandals will attack Utah Valley. There are so many strengths that the Wolverines have. It's just amazing how well they play, and they're a relentless attacking style hockey club. And here's the play-by-play Blaine Smith. He has shown up, so we're lucky to have him for the second game.
Hey, Gary. Long time no see. It's not like I just seen you like 5 minutes ago. Of course. I take a quick lunch break and then I fall behind, right? And so I just can't be doing that, I guess.
You're on top of your game.
Ooh, Idaho with an early chance right there.
Well, Idaho's putting on a nice little offensive attack right now for Utah Valley. I'm not sure if the Wolverines are ready for this or not.
It's going to be interesting, though, to see. Like how it happened in our first game. We didn't get to see Idaho last night. Same with how Gonzaga got to see Utah Valley. They played outstanding last night.
It's all a hockey club.
As they bring it into the zone. Rister deflected wide there. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all unfolds here.
Well, that's my point. If you look at it, that was Fingers that just walked in on Idaho, and he really didn't do a hard deke, just a couple soft ones, and he got right in on top of the netminder.
Right. There's something just very smooth, crisp, not forcing the issue. As there's a 4-on-2 opportunity if Utah Valley gets on underway, sends it wide. Dumped around the boards. So this is interesting for me because I didn't get to really see last night's game for the Wolverines because I was running around doing everything else for operations-wise for this lovely Eagle Nest showcase. But so I'm really intrigued to see. I saw a couple of their goals, which was very clean, but excited to actually be able to watch them from start to finish today.
You're going to be extremely impressed with this hockey team. They are talented from top to bottom.
It looks like Idaho extremely undermanned, it looks like, today. That'll be the first thing that catches my eye. I know we had a couple teams that we've, our Pac 8 showcase that we had the pleasure of calling together, that those undermanned teams were doing extremely quick shifts. So I want to see if that's going to be similar for Idaho. That's a great save there by the netminer as he covers it up. That was with Houston, it looked like, with the save. So solid stop by Waheusen there, able to, with his pad stop. Wahausen. And even if I botched it both times, I apologize.
Well, it was an outstanding save. I know that much. I'm trying to see who's in net for Utah Valley. If
they got Ray in again tonight.
Do they? He's an outstanding netminder.
As it's going all the way down, no icing there is picked up by the Wolverines. However, I guess we missed a penalty here. Wolverines on the power play as Will Garrett's in the box for the Vandals.
That's hard to get something by you, Blaine, so I'm not really sure.
As a wrister right in the slot beats Wahausen top shelf. That was 37. Ammon Anderson from the left wing just cruised into the slot, beat him on the stick side. Excuse me, no, he's on the glove side.
it's pretty apparent if Idaho has any shot at this game, they got to stay out of the penalty box. They can't afford that against this squad because if you get down 4 or 5 goals against them, you're in trouble for the rest of the game.
Going to be an offside there on the Vandals. Eerily similar so far. Every game that we've had the pleasure of calling, a really quick and fast goal early on in the first period.
And I think they feed off of that. I think that's what really helps them to get really settled into their attacking game.
As Utah plays it in there, well, Hauser sends it around the boards.
Wehausen's going to have an outstanding game tonight if Idaho's going to have any shot against the Wolverine.
You all right?
I've developed some hiccups.
That is the one thing you don't want when you're announcing. But well, as number 16 for the Wolverines brings it in, shot from the blue line, saved by Wehausen as he covers it up. That was Trost from way outside by the G and Eagles there. But already Wolverines dictating the game early on. Vandals had that quick little spree in that first 30 seconds or so. Everything else, it's been in their own defensive end. Sent around the boards. Wolverines keep it in, looking for a centering pass. Opportunity out in front. Wehausen already a couple of crucial stops as that backhand shot by Clark was saved.
Well, this is what makes the Wolverines so difficult. They do a nice cycle style of play when they're in the opposing teams, and they're picking up where they left off last night. They're really crisp at that style of game.
We have the face-off won by the Wolverines once again as they continue to pressure the Vandals. Flash out in front, unable to clear. Swung around the boards, back up to the slot up top by the blue line. Shot blocked there as the Vandals try to clear into the neutral zone. Shot from the outside. Ray smothers that with his gloved hand.
If Ray plays it all like he did last night, it's going to be a tall task for the Vandals to get by him because he really frustrated Santa Rosa yesterday.
He played us yesterday, bud.
Oh,
Eastern.
That's right. Never mind. I'm trying to pronounce Santa Rosa correct, and I was practicing that one, and I forgot.
You're already so prepared for the next matchup. You're already thinking Eastern Santa Rosa.
I am not going to make a mistake on Santa Rosa again this whole weekend. And I was zeroing in on it. I saw the score sheet, and
it gives him clarification.
Well, that's how good he's going to play against Santa Rosa too. So I was just pre thinking like, okay, he's going to be on top of his game on that game too. Holy mackerel! I don't think I should be in public right now.
Doing great though.
Yeah, outstanding.
Opportunity out in front there. Good poke check by the Wolverines as they look for a stretch pass opportunity. Unable to be corralled by the Vandals. It gets out in front and scores. As the cowbells ring down here. This opportunity scored was there by Shimbashi, I believe.
Yeah.
Shimbashi.
Yep.
That was Patrick Shimbashi. A little bit of a mistake there by number 9, Ishek, it looked like. Couldn't corral the puck. Or, excuse me, that was Ty Black. I completely botched it. Reading the handwriting completely wrong. Black with the mistake. Wolverines there to capitalize. He honestly kind of threw Wehausen off there because he didn't get all of the contact that he was looking for, and it just rolled past him on that far side.
Yeah, Wehausen bit on that one deke that he did on him, and he started sliding and he couldn't stop, and that's what happened. But get used to this attack by the Wolverines. They're relentless. They're nonstop. They're constantly thinking offense. That's why when I found out that the schedule didn't mesh, that Wyoming and Utah State weren't going to play this week
Utah
and was
Valley.
disappointed.
You said you're thinking of Utah State Aggies. Come on
Obviously,
now.
I'm not thinking, but anyway, really wanted to see those two line up, but I guess they're not going to play this weekend. So, but Utah Valley is stout, and so is Wyoming. That's going to be a good game when they play each other.
It won't be here, unfortunately.
No, I guess it's in
though.
a couple weeks that they meet in another showcase tournament.
Oh, that'll be a fascinating watch.
Well, both styles are real similar, and they're just totally offense. That's how they think.
Big hit there in the neutral zone, as brought back in by the Wolverines as they continue to press, as they flood that Vandal goal. Shot out, deflected there. Vandals just trying to hold on in their own zone, trying to find any opportunities. As a potential 3-on-2 here if they can take advantage from the outside, blocked there by Ray.
Well, the Vandals are going to have to do a little bit more to block Ray's vision because, again, if he sees the puck, he's going to stop. The kid is just so quick.
Opportunity going the other way out as Navari picks it up in the corner. He looks for a centering pass. Picked off by the Wolverines. Back in the neutral zone to regroup.
See, that's that back-checking pressure that the Wolverines will put on a squad also. Their forecheck and back-check is just nonstop out of this club. And they do it for 3 periods. It's just not one of these things, okay, they get a little momentum. They do it all 3 periods.
Well, I know something that you actually told me that you found out that this is a relatively new Wolverine squad, which is something that is different from last year. They came up here for the showcase. Completely new look team from what we've been told by multiple people.
Yeah, they definitely have improved over the last year's squad. There's no question about it in my mind. They're a stout. They're going to be tough for any opponent. That's why I was really looking forward if they were going to play Wyoming up here, because that would have been an outstanding hockey game to watch.
Well, based off of how both teams are playing, that was going to be a 8-7 type game with how the offense and how open both teams like to play.
I know, but if you look at their netminders, that might think like, okay, it's going to be like a 1-0. So yeah, that's what I mean. You weren't going to be sure how that game was going to pan out, but it would have been entertaining.
So Wolverines pick it up in their own zone, send it down the boards there. Mistake with the pass. Vandals pick it up. If you're Idaho here, Gary, how do you try to settle in here? They had that little bit of potential opportunity there, that missed pass, but they had that 1 minute, and that's been pretty much Wolverines since these last 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, I think they're going to have to survive in the next 5-6 minutes and try to figure out what Utah Valley is going to do, especially if they haven't seen each other. And since I don't know the system Idaho is using, I would say just try to sit and play positional hockey and don't get into a finesse game against them right now until you figure out exactly how they play, and then go on your own attack. But you're going to have to be real careful, because by now, Idaho's picked up Utah Valley's going to attack them, so they're going to have to adjust on the fly.
Good block there, and almost had an opportunity. Shot goes wide there, out by the blue line by the Wolverines as they give chase. Idaho coach looking for a call there of high swords. Big hit there.
Clark threw his body well against the Eagles last night, and he looks like he's picking up where he left off last night.
Wolverines continue to probe here as it's a little under 11 minutes remaining in the opening period, as it's 2-0 Utah Valley.
Well, Utah Valley is really efficient in their low-high game, and they cycle one player out in the middle of the slot looking to get the pass. They almost got away with it last time they had the puck. And they do a really good job of that style of play.
Ray quick to see the danger there as he sweeps that puck aside. Utah Valley dumps it in and make a change. Idaho has it, tries to swing it around their own boards.
See, that's that forecheck I was talking about.
Yep.
If you the Wolverine player was on top of the Vandal player before he even realized that he was there.
There's going to be a trip there on Idaho. Looked like that was number 36, Joel Pimenta, and he's going to be the one heading into the box.
And that is definitely one thing Idaho cannot do. They cannot get in the penalty box with the Wolverines. There is going to be a long day for them.
Well, already a power play goal for the Wolverines, so already shown that they're going to be lethal on the power play.
Well, because they cycle so well, they're nonstop, and so that's what makes them so hard to play against. Like Fingers, he's on defense, but he does not hesitate to jump in on top of the offensive play.
Utah Valley keeps it in as they send it around.
So you'll find it interesting also with Utah Valley. They always have a guy in front of the netminder trying to block his vision, or they're taking the defenseman out of it. And they do that constantly.
Great layout block there, but that was by Midgarden, laying it all out. Opportunity out in front. Couple saves there by Wiehausen. Been sharp early on.
Well, that's Shimbashi, and he's the one that really sets up home in front of that net. He did it last night against the Eagles.
Oh, lovely little move there.
And he's so quick. He has a lot of openings down there once the puck gets to him.
Relentless pressure by the Wolverines as Vandals are finally able to clear as they try to get a change in. 48 seconds remaining here on the Wolverines power play as they bring it back in. Swing it around. Opportunity right here at the right circle. Rister. Glove save there by Wiehausen. He was able to see that one, unable to get the opportunity of getting the Wolverine out in front of him there.
Get used to saying Shibashi's name and Nelson's name quite a bit in this game because they're are all over the ice constantly.
Right.
Now, the Vandals' credit, they're putting the body on the Wolverines, and that's kind of slowing them down. So they may want to continue with that style of play because they definitely picked up the physicality on their side, and it's definitely causing havoc for Utah Valley right now. So that's one thing I noticed an adjustment Idaho has done right now. They went more to the body a little bit. So that'll help them in the long run as long as they keep throwing the body against the Wolverines.
Opportunity across the face.
Again, there's Nielsen again. Came out of nowhere off the blue line and carried it all the way and had a nice little shot on the net. Hardman did a nice job of blocking it.
So Wolverines continue to flood what's going on here.
Got a little skirmish in front of the Vandals net right now. But again, I'll tip my cap to Idaho. They made a little shift in their attacking game change, and it's working pretty well. They're slowing down the Wolverines by using their body more. And again, what I mentioned earlier, they do that. That might help them in the long run because it seems to slow down Utah Valley a little bit right now. But again, you looked right there, Hill. He stopped on a dime on that one, almost got a point blank shot on top of the Vandals netminder.
Right.
But they just don't slow down.
Relentless.
Utah Valley just go, go, go. And they create a lot of havoc by doing it.
They bring it back in again. Right now. Oh, lovely little deke there.
And his size helps him. He's a smaller player, but he's not afraid of the body. He'll hit you, but he's so quick when he's down there, and his maneuverability is outstanding. And it's really hard as a defenseman to keep track of him.
Face off one there. Ooh, wrister just goes flashing wide there. Relentless pressure continues. And they're going to give the goal there. That was Shimbashi with the backhand finish. Looked like Wehausen kind of spilled it, and Shimbashi picked up the leftovers and put it away.
And where was he? Right in front of the net. He was just he just lives there. And Idaho's going to have to kind of counteract that, which can hurt you because it's going to take a defenseman out of the way. But Shibashi, if he's there, he's going to put the puck in the net. He did it last night. And he's just so hard to play against. Really a high IQ hockey player. And that's why I said get used to saying his name, because he's constantly somewhere in the mix.
Wolverines pick it up in their own zone and pass it around the boards. I don't want to be the one to be saying this already, as we're only 14 minutes in, but it almost feels like just the way the game has already been played, that's a little bit of danger time for the Vandals.
Well, the Vandals definitely have to be careful, or it could get away from them really quick right now. The next goal is crucial for them. But now you notice Idaho's kind of went away from the body, and then that gives Utah Valley that wide open ice that they really like to have. And I would go back to using the body if I was the Vandals.
Wehausen gets a save on that one on the pad side.
Because all the Wolverines got 3 goals, Wehausen has played really well for Idaho right now, but he can only hold up so long under that kind of pressure.
Well, already 14 shots on goal for him as he gets his stick in the way there of potentially having another one flashed out in front of him.
Yeah, and since I haven't seen Idaho, I don't know if that's their main game, using the body. And so if it's not, they could wear down doing that, but that's been their best bet. When they were hitting the Wolverines, it slowed them down quite a bit.
Well, the one thing is that I haven't seen those. I thought I would see Idaho do quicker shifts being undermanned. You haven't really seen that. I feel like part of that's probably because of the Utah Valley pressure staying in their own zone, kind of keeping them out there longer than they would want to be. But even when they're getting into their own zone offensively, you haven't seen those quick changes like I would have thought being undermanned.
And it would help Idaho to do a quick shift on that just to save them before the third period hits, because Utah Valley has a ton of players and they can wear you out pretty quickly if you're not careful, especially if you're short-handed.
Yeah, just looking at the rosters we have in front of us, Utah Valley's filling it up, has their whole roster full for eligible guys tonight. So,
and they have some scratches because they're sitting over here to the right of us, some of their other players. So they brought their full squad up here.
That's going to be an icing.
But I can't say enough about how impressed with Utah Valley I am. It's just you can go down the list. You got Clark, you got Nielsen, you got Fingers, you got Shibashi, who's constantly on the ice. Just a talented squad. That's why their record really has me confused. Kind of like Wyoming, the same way.
What was their record?
I think they've lost 6 right now, and even though they've lost, to Utah a couple times, but they felt they should have won both of those games when I was talking to some of the Wolverines earlier. And so
I also know I remember you saying that you talked to somebody last night after the Eastern game that they said that was the first time they felt like the team truly clicked as a unit.
You're talking
yesterday.
about Utah Valley.
Yeah,
right?
Utah Valley. Yep. Not talking about Idaho. We didn't get to see Idaho, so
No, yeah, I talked to. They have some fans up here, which is nice to see, and they were saying, yeah, right now they're just trying to learn to play together and gel. And last night was the best they looked all year, according to them. And it was a tough time to pick up, starting to gel against the Eags, but they got some talent.
yeah, they couldn't have waited one more night for us.
Yeah, I think it went today and start gelling, but they are going to be a handful come February.
Oh, lovely, lovely deke there, and he scores. Oh, lovely double deke as he finishes. That was, I can't see the number.
I think that was Chesworth, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off on that one.
Number 9. Yeah, you're right. Good call, Chasworth.
He was
quick in and out puck handling skills there.
Well, that's why they remind me a lot of like Wyoming, because they skate so smoothly. There's no choppiness to them at all. Great body control. Chesworth knew what he wanted to do before he even got close to the netminder, and there's nothing Weyhauser could have done on that one at all. It was just a nice job of 2 dekes.
And it's now 4-0 Wolverines. We thought it wasn't danger time a couple minutes ago. I think it's extremely so now. I might be getting one more, might already say the Wolverines are going to go for the kill in the second period.
Yeah, now the best thing the Vandals can do is survive the rest of this 2 minutes and 52 seconds in this period and then regroup during intermission. But they can't afford another goal or they won't be able to climb just the way on the netminder from the Wolverines play. He's unbelievable.
As the Vandals bring it back in, Rister from the outside goes wide. Wolverines pick it up. As they look for a pass into the neutral zone. Lovely little move there as Idaho's Rister is blocked. Big hit into the boards. Wolverines come away with it.
They just don't slow down. You look at Raffin right there. He just picked up the puck and just started to carry it. He lost it in the neutral zone, but they just constantly attack you.
No, like you said, so eerily similar to how Wyoming plays. Attack, attack, attack. Doesn't matter if they're opened up defensively. They still want to continue. As that hits the crossbar and hits Weyhausen. I don't know how that one didn't find the net.
I don't either. Now,
a little delayed penalty action here. Opportunity out in front as it goes wide. As the Wolverines are going to be in the box. A Vandal power play coming up.
I'm with you. I have no idea how that puck didn't go in. It hit the top crossbar, the side bar, and then it would look like it went off Weyhausen a little bit on his blocker. But if you look at that right there, Ray's the one that actually prevented it. He had a point-blank shot. The Vandal did, and he just stood his ground. And he directs his players really well. As you look right now, he's definitely talking to his defenseman exactly where he wants, and that's impressive that a goaltender does that. He's seeing something that he wants to change, and that's good on his part to voice that.
As we are on the power play here with Fraser in the box.
This would definitely help Idaho if they get the puck in.
About just a little over a minute remaining here in this one in the first period. Oh, misplayed off the boards. Pass there by Weyhausen. Oh, he gets away with that one. Playing with fire with that pass off the boards. That's now the second time we've seen a goalie that hadn't played the night before, doesn't know the bounce, misplays the bounce, and it almost catches him out. That happened to the Gonzaga goalie in the first game.
Yeah, and Walker was all over it on that. So Vandals got real lucky on that one that didn't go in the net.
Gary, if you're Idaho here, what are you telling your troops?
I would say Idaho needs to go, and they did it for a couple minutes, and it worked really well when they went to the body. Um, and I would, if I was Idaho, I'd try to play more control, not to try to be so wide open, and just to try to slow down the Wolverines a little bit and see if that will help them at all.
Oh, what a move there, and somehow he's unable to convert. It looked like it was blocked. As that'll do it. That was a lovely move by Ty Black.
Oh, that was incredible by Mr. Black on that one. Really a nice job, and he deserved the goal on that one. But Ray was there back, but man, Black did a nice job of deking in there.
And that wraps up the first period, everybody, as it's the Utah Valley 4, Idaho 0. welcome back into the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center as it is Utah Valley 4, Idaho 0. Idaho will start here on the power play for about 30 more seconds off of the penalty to end the period by Fraser as they bring it back in. More impressed with myself that this is the first time I think in the entire 3 games I've called that I've actually made it for the start of the period.
And I'm happy to see you early here, Blaine.
Nope, it's a glove-handed save there by Ray. That was a solid wrister there.
I know one thing that Idaho's going to have to do. They're going to have to plop, and I would even attack it as 2 guys in front of Ray, because Ray is obviously on top of his game tonight, and you got to somehow block his vision.
Paulson has it up by the blue line as he tries to dump it in. It's deflected out of play there. About five seconds remaining here on the Utah Valley penalty.
And you watch Utah Valley, and they do it constantly, especially if Shabazz is out there. You can just guarantee he's going to be in front of the net. And most good teams will plop somebody right in front. They will. It works really well. It takes the defenseman out. And Idaho's going to have to shift over to that type of game and use the body a little bit more to try to climb back in this.
And a wrister scores just as the power play goes. As that was Ty Black. Honestly, he deserved a goal towards the end of the first period with that lovely move that Ray pushed aside. He gets his goal now. It's 4-1.
Tip your hat off to Black. He didn't quit on that one. I think it surprised Ray a little bit. I mean, just watching his reaction, I don't think he thought Black was going to pop it from where he was at. He was a little bit at the top of the slot and went right in between the 5-hole. Nice job by Black, but I think Ray was a little bit stunned on that when he took a shot from there.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't look overly pleased that one beat him either.
No, so. he was pretty disgusted with himself, and you can't fault him on that. That was just a nice shot by Black. I mean, he just picked it up and made one deke, and there it was.
But that power play on Utah Valley is a punishment there, and that hopefully will give Idaho some life here in the second period. They came out with a little bit of another intensity on that power play, sense of urgency.
And they needed to. They needed to come out, and they couldn't have set back like they did in the first period. They had to come out and start attacking. And so we'll see what happens on this one. If they get the next goal, you never know.
Idaho comes back in, leaves it off. Wrister goes high there. That was by Vidmar as he had a wrister up by the circle. Passes it around the boards. Idaho picks it up and is able to keep it in. Poke check there by the Utah Valley as they come back the other way. Opportunity here. Lovely little move. And Wehausen up to the challenge. Makes a fantastic stop.
I don't think he stopped it.
Never mind. That
would have been a great stop because that was one heck of a nice, smooth deke by the Wolverine.
That's my cue to leave, everybody. It's been nice. It's been fun. Anderson with the goal. That is my mistake. It looked like he saved it, but obviously my eyes are going. And
well, I was a bit stunned. That's why I think the puck went in, but maybe it didn't. That's all right.
The way Wehausen reacted, it looked like he saved it. He sold it to me. 5-1 Utah Valley. And a quick little poke check set them up right there. And Anderson made a lovely little move, hit a gear that Idaho really couldn't keep up with. And then
I don't think Idaho realizes just that extra gear most of the Wolverines have. They'll blow right by you if you're at all flat foot. You've got to make sure you're skating the whole time when you're playing against this club. There you go. Now that's what Idaho needs to do. They need to take the body just like that. And I think that was Midgarden that did that. That was a nice hit by him. Slowed down the Wolverine.
Navari has it. He brings it the other way for the Vandals, and he sends it in. Poked around the boards by Ray. As it's in the corner here. Couple of checks by both teams. Lovely little centering pass sent back in, dumped in by Idaho. But one thing is that's got to be gut-wrenching for the Vandals. You think that you just get one on the board. It gives you some life. One little mistake, and then Utah Valley was in, and they punish you.
But that's one thing Idaho can learn off of that. They cannot afford penalties or mistakes against the Wolverines.
2-on-1 here. Navari's wrister saved by Ray. I was looking for him to pass it there. It looked like he had an opportunity to feed Paulson on the other side, but he took it himself.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I thought he was going to pass it too. And that might have caught Ray a little bit off guard because he was shading over to where the shooter was. And a little quick tape-to-tape pass might have caught him by surprise. He's got to do something different against Ray or he's going to block the puck. He's just that good of a goaltender.
And even though you want to try and pepper the goaltender, you feel like sometimes the extra pass is the necessary one that you have to make, especially when you're going against a netminder that is as good as Ray. You got to give yourself an even better opportunity, even though you got to go from a good opportunity to a great opportunity. As that shot, Wehausen's unable to keep that one out. Shot from the blue line there. As Utah Valley adds another one, that was scored by number 4. That was by Whittier. His wrister from up the blue line. Wehausen stopped it and it just rolled over his right shoulder there.
Well, Whittier, what he did really nice, he set it up where actually he had 3 Vandals almost lined up in a row and used all of them for a screen. And he has a rocket for a shot. So nice play by him. And he did a nice job on that 2-on-1 also against the Vandals. He rode the player off. And so he had a great shift that time.
It's now 6-1 Utah Valley. And just like that, momentum completely, you feel like Idaho has life. Utah has sucked that life right out of them. Passed around the boards here.
And if I'm not mistaken,
what do you got, Gary?
I'm looking at seeing if there's a lineup change.
Big hit there. That was by number 23, Bowen. The physicality in this one's definitely lining up. We've got a delayed penalty here for the Vandals. Looking for a pass. As they're waiting here. They finally blow the penalty.
And one of our viewers brought it to our attention that it looks like Utah has changed their netminder.
Have they taken Ray out? Is that what they're trying to tell us?
Well, I'm trying to double check that right now, but it looks like Coleman's in net. Okay, the score sheet's not lining up on the program, so we'll double check that. But unless
we'll try and get that all squared away for you guys. Good call. Thank you for the comment to raise our attention to it. Trying to see if that is Ray on there on the bench. Kind of blocked out there. It's Utah Valley's in the box. It's going to be a Idaho power play. I think they're right. There is a different number there, I believe. It looks like they got Landon Coleman out there in net. So
thank you for that catch for us because sometimes it's difficult to see a netminder, but they have similar styles. And so that's why I didn't even catch that there was a goaltender shift. And it's good to know.
It looks like potentially a family relative was the one that gave us the nice little heads up. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But, especially when styles are similar to each other, you don't anticipate that. And Ray, the way he's playing, you wouldn't guess that he'd get pulled. But now I was wondering what kind of other netminder Utah Valley had. So it'll be good to see this netminder and see what he can do.
So we have Landon Coleman in net now. So it'll be fascinating to see how this one unfolds the rest of the way, as it's 6-1. But he's been sharp so far.
Well, it's good to get the other netminder some work.
Good save there by Coleman.
So that was a good call by Utah Valley's coaching staff.
Idaho did not like that little jab that
Yeah,
Utah
not-
Valley left. Fisher was the one who gave a nice little swipe towards Wehausen on there at the end.
Yeah, that was interesting. And then it looked like Midgarden came in and gave him almost like a cross check. So
Shot from the outside, saved by Wehausen there. Idaho tries to regain their bearings here. 13:40 remaining here in the second period. 6-1 Utah Valley. Turnover in the neutral zone. Utah Valley dumps it right back in.
well, now if I was the Vandals, I would try to just shoot from almost anywhere on the rink and actually see how Coleman does, since they've never seen him before, and see exactly how his reactions are. Right now, he's played really well, but if I was Idaho, every opportunity I'd get, I'd try to pepper the net.
Well, now I'm intrigued to see, since that was something that we didn't see, I'm assuming Coleman was in at the start of the second, so Idaho was able to beat him. So that's something that maybe something that they need to look at, is that they were able to beat Coleman 5 holes. So be on the lookout for that if you're a Vandal supporter. That would be the first thing I would try to do. You try and attack him the same way that you beat him the first time.
Yeah, but that was a sweet play by Black on that net. I mean, that was just a nice job of geeking a couple of Wolverines on that.
Black picks it up right there. Speaking of right on cue, passes it up into the neutral zone. It's being taken away by Hagenbaugh. Coming the other way is Utah Valley. Left off for them as they send it around. It's Bagshaw that has it. Coleman picks it up behind his own net, leaves it for his teammates to come pick it up. Centering pass here. Well, unfortunately, leaves the puck behind. Good check there by the Vandals. A 3-on-1 opportunity here. Feels like a must score. They can take advantage. Navari centering pass there, and they score. Something that Navari didn't do on that last 2-on-1 opportunity. He took it himself. This time he makes the extra pass, and the Vandals convert. That was Will Garrett with the empty net pretty much score on there.
And there was really nothing Coleman could have done on that one. It was a 3-on-1, and he shaded correctly. And the defenseman for the Wolverines was trying to ride the main player. He wanted him to pass to the far side, and he didn't. And nice little open-in shot, but really there was nothing Coleman could have done to stop that. That was a nice job by Idaho. Now, if they can stay out of the box, they look like they got a little life, and I noticed they started to hit a little bit more to the Vandals, so we'll see what happens there.
Black brings it the other way. On the right side, tries to get in front of Coleman. Coleman gets a last-second poke check there to be able to poke down the side out of Black's hands.
Black is so smooth out there. He has great hand-eye coordination.
Utah Valley picks it up as they try to bring it back in. Picked up in the neutral zone. It's Whittier who has it all the way from the defenseman, picks it up and brings it all the way down, and playing as the forward right now. Whittier gives chase as it's picked up there by Garrett. Frenetic pace right here. Nobody really can find true handle of the puck.
It could be really interesting if Idaho can score the next goal. Because right now the Wolverines are a little bit back on their skates a tad bit, and I'm not used to seeing them play that way.
Big hit there. Going to be a no penalty there on a friendly fire check on top of it for the Wolverines.
That was Hill that blew up the Vandal.
Big hit. That one's not going to go away. As Garrett comes the other way, is he going to try and make a pass, or is he going to take it himself? Tries to center it. Doesn't get all of the contact he was looking for. Delayed penalty here. Utah Valley picks it up, and it's going to be Utah Valley going into the box. Be interesting to see what they're going to call here on this one.
Yeah, because actually, from my vantage point, it looked like a pretty clean hit. Looks like Tross is going in the box for the Wolverines. But I have noticed it looks like Utah Valley's using the body more this period than they have in the last period and a half. They've decided to go to a checking game.
So we're just about halfway through the second period. Idaho wins the faceoff over up front, unable to corral it. Coleman gets the second attempt and smothers it up.
That was a nice job by Coleman because that was a hard save because they had two Vandals in front of the net and the puck squirted out to him. He did a good job of tracking the puck on that one. Kudos to him, but Idaho's putting a little pressure on the Wolverines right now.
Yeah, Joey Vaughn had a couple of chances out there in front. He tries to swing it around. Navari tries to keep it in. Rister outside deflected. Coleman able to get the redirect.
Another tough save by him because the Vandal was standing right in front of him, and he did a nice job of going to a butterfly to look around the Vandal, and that's how he got his glove on it. That was a heads-up play by him.
Yep, Hagenbaugh was the one flashing right there. Hagenbaugh out in front again. Vaughn, another opportunity, squirts it free. And Coleman all over the ice. He made at least 3 out saves there out in front.
That was an outstanding job by Coleman and Nick. Vandenbach was all over the place, and it looks like he decided to stay home right in front of the net. And there was some major traffic in front of Coleman on that, and you got to give him credit for even seeing the puck on that one because there was a lot of motion going on there. I think they're going to get Idaho for a possibility of a penalty, it looks like.
Maybe some interference potentially here.
That's what it looked like the official initially signaled. But no one's going in the box. I'm not really sure.
But then you have them going down to the Idaho defensive end. So they're talking it over with a couple of the.
I think they called a penalty shot. That's exactly what they did.
I don't know who they called it on, but here we go. Opportunity here. This is number 29, Adam Paulson. Great opportunity to here as he comes down. Paulson Rister beats Coleman on the stick side. And wait a minute. This game is back on, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6-3. Idaho scored twice. 3 times already in this period.
Well, you got to give Paulson a great credit. I'm still not sure. I wish we had the replay up here. I'd like to see where they cut the penalty shot on that one because the puck was fairly loose, but tip your hat off to Paulson on that. He went top shelf. He made Coleman commit first, and I thought Coleman did a really nice job of coming out of his crease to try to cut it down a little bit, but nice job by Paulson. Well, these goals definitely gave the Vandals some life. There's no question about that. So we'll see how the Wolverines react now because this is the first time they really had some adversity in the last 2 games that they played. So we'll see how they handle this.
And we got to remember, Idaho's still on the power play here. So massive opportunity to keep getting closer as it's brought in. Idaho flashes it across the crease. Nobody home. Idaho tries to keep it in, unable to. Pimienta tries to reset.
I have to be honest with you, all my years in hockey, I've not seen a penalty shot called when The play was in the crease. That was the first time I've seen that.
I mean, it's the only logical thing that I could think of as we were watching is that with the Utah Valley guys sprawled out on the floor there, they might have called a hand pass out of the crease, you think?
I really, like I said, that's the first time I've seen that happen. Usually on something, unless that's what they did, that they put their hand in the crease on the puck. But it looked like Coleman had it. So however you look, Vandals go on the scoreboard. It's 6-3 hockey game right now. And they're definitely turned up their pressure a little bit on the Wolverines.
Yeah, and even though they're still behind, even though they've made it a game, mini victory, they've outscored Utah Valley 3-2 in this period. So you have to factor in that like they're playing some way different type of game that they had than in the first period.
Well, they're more wide open. They're attacking more that the Vandals didn't do in the first period. I noticed that right off the bat. And they started to use the body a little bit more also. That was a change for them. So they made some adjustments in the first period, and they got some life going.
Utah Valley delayed offsides here. Idaho picks it up, and they're coming back the other way. Sent around the boards there. Coleman tries to poke it aside. Idaho regroups and has it up by the circle. Centering pass there. Shot just flashed wide. That was by Midgarden. Utah Valley picks it up in the neutral zone. Centering pass there as it's dumped back in. Their shot goes wide there. That was Bagshaw with the opportunity. Utah Valley continue trying to probe here in front. They're able to keep it in, send it right back around the boards. It's Shimbushi who picks it up, sends it back around towards the blue line. Back down towards Shimbushi. He picks it up in the left circle. Back to Bagshaw behind the Idaho net. And here comes Black the other way. Ty Black, almost a one-man wrecking crew on that one. Picks it up behind his own net and had an opportunity. Here comes Utah Valley. Opportunity with Wehausen. He scores! An opportunity for the Vandals to cut it to 2. Coleman makes the save. Opportunity goes the other way for the Utah Valley, and they finish and punish Wehausen.
Was that Nelson that got the goal for the Wolverines?
I believe that was number 21, yes. Oh, was that Morrow? That was Morrow.
That was a nice job by him because he made Wehausen commit, and then he tucked it in, actually went between his legs and pulled it off and did a nice job on the blocker side to put the puck in the net.
Morrow has it again here. His backhand pushed aside wide. Another shot saved by Wehausen. Couple of saves there by Wehausen out in front. The one thing that is just Idaho, you got to be. If I was the Idaho head coach, I'd be kicking myself because both of their 2 out of the 7 goals they've given, it's just one little stick check and it's a one-on-one with the goalie because of the chance that you took. This could easily be a tighter game than what the score indicates.
And that's what happens when you leave the body and decide to check with your stick. And then there's a higher probability of the puck's going to score by you. And that's why I thought Idaho would stick to that hitting game that they did earlier because it was actually rattled the Wolverines a little bit.
Deflected out of play there. A little over 5 minutes remaining in the second period here as Utah Valley leads 7-3.
But that was a good response by Utah Valley, really, to be honest with you. They had to do something because the Vandals were gaining a lot of momentum, and you could see in their play they were really putting a lot of pressure on the Wolverines, and that was a good response by Utah Valley to come back and get on the board before Idaho did, because that would have made the game a whole lot different.
Well, and a massive swing of momentum because 10 seconds before that, Black had his one-on-one opportunity and Coleman came up with the save.
Yeah, and I think Black would like to have that back because Coleman did a nice job of standing his ground, but he had as wide open teammate on the side. If he could have did a little feather pass, that would have went in the net. But Coleman did a nice job of really forcing Black to do something earlier than what I think he wanted to.
Puck cleared into the neutral zone. Vandals try to pick it up. Deflected pass there. Wolverines able to pick it up in the neutral zone. Nice poke check there. Idaho coming the other way. Black with another chance. Saved by Coleman. Black has it behind the Utah net. Continues to pro. Flashed out to Navari. Coleman makes a stop there. Couple of stops on Navari. Idaho's not slowing down with the continuous pressure on the Coleman's net. Utah Valley has it coming the other way. As Fisher brings it in. Poke check there by Navari.
Coleman's doing a really nice job of standing his ground on that one because that was a couple hard saves. And now the Wolverines are putting their relentless attack again on Idaho. But what Coleman did really well on that first blocker save, he actually directed the rebound off to the corner, and the Wolverine player just missed it, and that's how Idaho got their second shot at that. But that was a nice job by Coleman to even get that puck out of the way. But Idaho did a nice job of putting some pressure and some traffic in front of Coleman to see if they could get one by him.
And that was nice and called there on the Vandals with Will Garrett trying to clear his lines. But no, you're absolutely right. Good call there, Gary. Face-off won by the Wolverines. Whittier has it, sends it back down to the circle towards Anderson. Anderson swings around the board. Centering pass there. Opportunity in the slot. Shot sent wide by Wiehausen. That's picked up by Bagshaw. He picks it up. Poke check there. Vandals opportunity coming the other way. Navari has it. Whittier is able to give chase. Pick Navari's pocket behind the Wolverines net. Utah Valley coming back the other way through the neutral zone. Potential opportunity to their right. Here they come. Is there going to be a centering pass? There is. Wiehausen predicts it and comes up with a huge stop.
That was major. That was a major stop right there because I think the way that ice is tilting now back to the Wolverines' favor, that was a great stop by Wiehausen on that one.
And he, just on that pass there, he went early. He took a major guess and guessed right.
I think you made a good call on that penalty shot, Blaine. I think the only way that could have been is that one of the Wolverines had their glove on top of the puck in the crease, and that's the only way I could see that they got that. So that was a heads-up call by you because I was really stunned on how they got a penalty shot on that one. That's the only explanation I could think of.
No, it'll be fascinating to see what the actual final call was when we get the opportunity to see what the score sheet says. Wolverines try to keep it in their own zone. Picked up by the Vandals. They dump it into neutral ice. Wolverines pick it up. Big hit there in the neutral zone. Vandals coming back the other way. Wow, couple great moves. 3 great moves. What an onslaught of moves there by Midgard. And absolutely fantastic. A late second poke check, though, takes that opportunity away.
Yeah, that was superb play. But Coleman did a nice job. He's the one that actually poke checked it off of him. And the Vandal got in too tight on him, and he was played heads up on that one because, holy mackerel, he made three Wolverines just totally miss him.
Wolverines bring it back in here with Morrow. 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. A frenetic pace we have in this one. 6 goals in the second period alone, 3 apiece. Gary, what are your insights for both teams here going into the potential third period?
I think right now, if the Vandals can go back to what they were doing really well, they were using the body, which opened up the ice for them, and they kept attacking the Wolverines on that one, and then they kind of got away from it. But do the same thing. That worked really well against Utah Valley. Really, Utah Valley is so impressive to me. that they really don't have to change anything. I think they just kind of got off their marks a little bit on the Vandals' attack. If I was the Wolverines, I'd continue what I was doing because they're an outstanding hockey club. But you got to tip your hat to the Vandals on that one. They put a lot of pressure for about 5 minutes on top of Utah Valley. I think it caught them by surprise that they responded from that early deficit that way.
No, I agree. And then the only other thing I'm going to be looking for in this third period is how much does Idaho put so much energy into this second period to try and give themselves an opportunity? How much will they have left in the tank shorthanded?
But it goes back to kind of what you said in the first period you wanted to see Idaho do is quick shifting, and they started to do that also in this game. So I think they realized that they didn't want to wear down in that third.
Just under 40 seconds here remaining in the second period. Utah Valley brings it in. Rister from the outside, pushed aside by Wehausen. Picked back up here. Rister there, but put aside by Wehausen. Black has it. Going to be a delay penalty here. Looks like it's going to be on Garrett.
And that's a penalty Garrett didn't need to take. That and we talked about that in the first period, how Idaho was hurting themselves, and they just cannot go a man down against the Wolverines. Their attack is too relentless to do that.
And it felt like he was trying to defend his goalie there because Wehausen got a little. The Utah Valley slid into him. He didn't appreciate that, and Garrett retaliated. But this is something that we saw last night too: is that the second guy's always the one that gets caught.
And that was pretty blatant what he did on that one. We're pretty wide open, so the official had to call it.
So power play here for the Wolverines for the next 2 minutes, 20 seconds here, and then the next minute 40 in the third. Wolverines have it. Pass across. Opportunity. Oh, off the post there. That was Anderson's wrister. 5 seconds remaining. Anderson puts another one on net. Pushed aside by Wehausen.
But you see Shabasi right there in the middle of the net. He's constantly got a tip in on that one. And he even went over and gave the goalie a pat on that one because that was a heck of a save by Wehausen.
One period remains in this one. Utah Valley 7, Idaho 3. A frenetic second period comes to a close.
Welcome back, hockey fans, for the third period of action between Utah Valley Wolverines and the Idaho Vandals. Scores 7-3, the Wolverines. It's been an entertaining second period, especially since the Vandals got on the board, but they came out real quick. Shivani did a nice job of stealing the puck from the Vandal. A good job by the netminders to shut that down real quick, but they have got to watch him. He is so skilled. Blaine has joined me again, doing some behind-the-scenes work.
Yeah, so much for being early. Only made it one period. Oh, well.
That's still one. Give yourself credit.
Exactly, and we got the Wolverines still on that power play opportunity out in front.
We also did a really nice job of hugging that post and would not allow the Wolverine any kind of opening at all.
Still have Coleman in net here for the Wolverines, so no goalie change this time that we're missing. Opportunity here, Rister blocked out of play. It was a good shot there by Bagshaw that had an opportunity. Vandals were able to capitalize and block that one. 22 seconds remaining on the Garrett penalty. And we'll be back to full strength for the Vandals.
One thing Idaho has got to avoid is making little mistakes and continue taking penalties. They cannot continue to do that to play against Utah Valley. They're just too stout.
And you weather the storm here, and if you're a Vandals on the Vandals sideline, you got to make one final push here. See if you can get the next one. Maybe have it and cut this lead in half with maybe 8 to 10 to go. I would say that that would be my game plan if you were preaching in the Vandal bench.
Yeah, if you could score quickly for Idaho, that could set the tempo for the rest of this period.
As now we've got the Garrett penalty over, and here we are back to full strength here as Nabari brings it back in. He dumps it in for the Vandals, gives chase. Oh, that was tight. Looked like the Utah Valley player just beat Nabari out for the icing call there. Oh, we have a fellow official here, right here. Hadley, how are you?
That's what I thought it was, Mr. Hadley, but I wasn't 100% sure because I thought he lived in Texas.
You see,
but it is him.
Here to join the party to ref some Eagles Nest Showcase on vacay. What a kind soul.
I thought the way you and I were having problems in the second period, Blaine, we were starting to see things. So.
No, we are not seeing things. You want to hop on the mic here? Give us some insight? He's respectfully declining us, unfortunately. As you can see, we're here to lighten up the mood on the broadcast. That's why we're trying to get as much insight as possible. We got our cameraman Ashley on for a little bit, trying to get some referee insight here.
Well, I just feel good about myself because I could have sworn that was who I was. But
thought you were seeing things with Headley.
I did. No, it's not him, but it looks like him.
Only reason I know it was him because I saw him yesterday, so I had a little bit of heads up on you.
I did a quick look, and I know he looked at me like, "What are you looking at?" It's like, "No, man." I was like, "Oh, that's why." So, okay, I'll regroup here. But Weyhauser did a nice job of stopping that puck at that time. Okay, we'll get focused now. Come on, Blaine.
I'm trying. All right, here come the Wolverines here. Dump it back into the neutral zone. Idaho picks it up. Oh, big hit there. Dump back in. The physicality is picked right back up where it left off. Opportunity in front. That was Shimbushi again.
Yeah, he's all over the place. But again, you know it's where he's at, right in front of that net.
Yeah, quick little, great puck control though. It's hand-eye coordination to a T there to get him out in front.
And he's stout, and he's hard to move too, and that's what makes him extremely effective in front of the goaltender. He's really difficult to move. But I noticed the Wolverines definitely picked up their body check in this period. So I'm thinking they're trying to wear down Idaho because of the short bench Idaho has. And so they definitely went to the body this period.
Black has it, continues to probe for the Vandals, getting pressured there by 3 Utah Valley. Finds the pass out, unable to corral it is Idaho though, and Utah Valley comes back the other way. Big check there. Here comes Idaho. Garrett has it, tries to find a pass, finds Black. His wrister just goes wide.
Garrett and Black are a nice combo for Idaho. They play really well together.
Here comes Clark the other way. His slap shot from the circles. Stopped by Wiehausen.
That was a rocket shot, and that's a hard save to make because it was low, just barely off the ice. Nice job by Wiehausen and his glove.
About 15:30 remaining here in the third period. The physicality has definitely raised the bar. A lot of body checking here. Something that we saw towards the end of the second period. Slap shot deflected. Wiehausen's able to spear it, and a late check there by the Utah Valley, and Idaho took major exception for that last second poke check.
I notice now the Vandals are picking up their body checking also, so this game's starting to become more physical as the time runs down.
We've seen that, though, in almost all of the games, the physicality picking up in every third period. And this is now game 4 of our showcase, but you've seen that in every third period, the chipping is picking up. Saved there by Wiehausen with a pad stop. Nabari just ends up sending it down. That's going to be an icing.
But I think it's time for Idaho to now start gambling a little bit more. It's down to 15:02 left in this period, and so it's time to open up a little bit, see if they can close this gap, get it down like what you were saying with 10 minutes left, only down by 2 or 3 points. So it may be time for them to change up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe start flooding and just see what happens and take the gamble. If you get punished, you get punished.
Yeah, and it's too bad they're behind so much right now because their style's working really well against Utah Valley, but down by 4, they're going to have to do something quickly.
It's because they caught an onslaught in that first period. Because other than that, second and third period, they played even hockey with them, but they got caught out a couple times in that first period when Utah kind of overwhelmed them as Idaho was trying to find themselves into this game.
Yeah, they matched them pretty well in the last period and a half. But that's what a quick start will do for you. That allows you some time to really kind of set up what you want to do.
Garrett centering pass. Found out at the blue line. Utah Valley picks it off up in the circle. Idaho probes behind their own net. Garrett has it. Looking for a potential centering pass. He gets poke checked off of it. That was by Tross. And Tross able to send it down. Opportunity out in front of net. Black has it now up by the blue line after it's deflected out. Black really trying to potentially find a shot. Oh, puck, loose puck. Garrett has it. His stop. Coleman's right there.
That was a nice stop by Coleman. He went down on a butterfly stance because that was a point-blank shot. I know one thing.
Great
the Wolverines are
going to
they're going to have to really watch Black because Black is really turning up his game.
Black brings it back in. This is back into the neutral zone. Picked up by Tross. He looks for Anderson. Anderson, lovely little move. 1-2. Unable to convert. Wiehausen with the stop.
That was a nice little toe drag on that one. He definitely fooled the Vandal defenseman on that one. Nice play. Minus that first period, really, it's been an entertaining hockey game between these two clubs. They both are playing extremely hard. I just don't know how much gas the Vandals have right now to try to get back by 4 goals, but you got to tip your hat to them. They have not quit at all in this game.
And they made a couple adjustments after that first period. Unfortunately, that's going to end up, the first period will be the difference of this one, but they have held their own, and you could honestly make the argument that they've honestly even played better than in these last period and a half. I could say that. Utah's 2 goals were a couple of mistakes on a poke check, right? And those 2 one-on-ones with Wehausen, they beat them. So right there, you could say, yeah, it's been, 3-3 the rest of the way? So it could have been 3-1.
Idaho's done a really nice job on coming back. There's no question about that. Absolutely none. So you got to tip your hat to the Vandals. They didn't quit. A lot of clubs would have went down, when they were down so far in that first period. And they didn't hang their heads at all. They came back and kept doing what they were trying to do, and they spread it out, the Wolverines, quite a bit in that second period, and that worked for them. So kudos to them.
Face off one there. Rister pushed aside by Coleman with a pad stop. Flashed out in front. That was Hagenbaugh with a couple of opportunities, and Coleman brushes those aside.
He's been a force for Idaho. And he's played well tonight.
Utah Valley swings it around the boards. Idaho's able to pick it up. Finds Navari. Navari tries to have it in the neutral zone. Put away by Trost. Sent back around, and it's picked up by Utah Valley as they bring it back in. Rister from the outside. Glove saved by Wehausen.
Wehausen really settled in well from that first 5-6 minutes of that first period. He's been a real force for the Vandals the rest of this game. He's played real well.
Yeah, 30-plus saves on the night. Very solid.
But, we've talked about a lot about Utah Valley's relentless pressure. Look, they got 38 shots compared to 19 with Idaho. They just don't stop. They just constantly work on that offense. Even when they were losing the momentum, they didn't really change their style on attacking. They just made a few mistakes, and that helped Idaho with it. But
Trost picks it up, slap shot by the circle. Pushed aside by Wehauser over the crossbar. Dump back in. Fisher gives chase. Wehauser is able to pick it up, and he covers it up. 11-16 remaining.
I have been impressed with Idaho, how they have not quit. And that's, you got to contribute the coaching staff on that one, because they've dug in and kept playing hard right now. And that might have caught the Wolverines a little bit also off guard, because I think they thought maybe this game was over, and Idaho didn't quit.
Yeah, but it felt like it was just them trying to find their bearings in that first period. And they have switched a couple things up that's worked. So this is something that they can definitely use these second and now half of this third period into the rest of the weekend for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's got to give them some confidence in that, because they just ran into a buzzsaw with the Wolverines in that first 5-10 minutes of that first period.
Utah Valley has this. They're bringing it back in. Solid check there as Idaho picks it up and dumps it back into their offensive zone.
Anderson's another kid for the Wolverines that had a real strong game tonight. He's played really well for them.
And I think Anderson scored the first of the opener as well. Anderson centering pass there. Great pad stop by Wehausen. It felt like that was Bagshaw's goal for sure. A cheeky little pass there by Idaho. Chips it back down as they go out and make a change. Coming back down. It's Finger who has it. His wrister from outside the blue line goes high. Black has it now as he starts to probe and start the offense for Idaho. Navari poke check. Ends up hitting the official. Black has it now as he probes. Great little spin. Gives it to Navari. His move around the circle. Centering pass there. Pushed aside by Coleman. Utah Valley regroups. Black flashes it in front. And that'll be an icing. But my goodness, Morrow hit another gear though right there.
He did. he just shot out of a cannon on that one. That was very impressive.
9:22 remaining here. Don't worry, folks. After this one, we're only halfway done with the night. Eastern Washington will be taking on Santa Rosa, as well as Washington State and Cal in the nightcap. So, you looking for something to do tonight? Kick back, relax, put on some hockey.
I tell you, Blaine, you're all over it today. You are on top of your game tonight or today or whatever it is. I mean, we got some more games to go. So.
Oh, lovely little toe drag there.
Oh, we got a problem here.
Yeah, he did not take kindly to that one. That was
that Midgarden?
That was Midgarden. That was Hill who made the move.
He was unhappy with one of the Wolverines. There's no doubt about it. And he's going to sit down and then reflect on it.
It's like they're both going in. I'm trying to figure out what I know. Hill made Midgarden fly by there, but it didn't look like it was a check or anything. I think Hill got the call because he kind of gave a little jab on Wiehausen after he made the save. I don't know if Midgarden was more frustrated that he missed the check there or retaliating on the Wiehausen. I couldn't fully tell what had happened there.
It could encompass all of that, what you just said, because he definitely darted and he was unhappy about something.
You're going to have some 4-on-4 open ice hockey.
And this does not help the Vandals whatsoever. They don't have the speed to keep up with Utah Valley. So, again, when they seem to get a little momentum, they end up in the box for some reason or other, and that stunts them. And now they're planning to get momentum for the rest of this showcase.
Right.
And,
cross wristers blocked there. Black picks it up. Picked up in the neutral zone, brought in. Poke check there by Whittier. Idaho's able to pick it back up with Pimienta. Excuse me, I botched that name. Minute 35.
And you know where Shabashi's going to go right now. He's circling around in the neutral zone, but he's going to head straight for that net once he gets the puck.
Navari with a mistake. Picked up by Shavari. Around the net. Black's able to poke check it away, and he comes back.
Man, that kid's a talented hockey player. Shabashi, he is just relentless. Everything he does.
And here comes Fisher the other way for the Wolverines. He stopped on a dime in the corner. Swings up the boards to Tross. His wristers deflected. Picked up the side. Idaho comes back the other way. Stops on a dime as they make a change. And they come back in. That's Paulson who sends it around the boards. Paulson has it there. Wrister. Coleman makes the save and covers it up. 40 seconds remaining here on the 4-on-4.
One thing I've noticed with the Wolverines right now, they're trying to really protect their end a little bit more. That Coleman's not getting as many shots as he faced in the second period, and that's because of the defensive alignment Utah Valley has done in the third period. But Coleman's standing his ground really well for them. He's played a good hockey game.
Garrett wins the faceoff. Paulson's wrister saved by Coleman. Push aside. Wolverines have it. Poke check there. Idaho has to reset with a delayed offside. Hagenboss sends it back in. Garrett's wrister. Glove saved by Coleman.
Well, with how the Vandals stayed in this game, it bodes well for them for the next couple of games they play in this showcase. It's got to give them some confidence on that if you can throw out that first period. You're right. They've been in this game the whole time. It's just that first period, first 5-6 minutes that really hurt them.
Here comes the Wolverines. Pick it up, looking for a potential centering pass. Rister deflected out. That was Clark. Here comes Chadwick the other way. Dumped in. Garrett's able to deflect the pass. Tries to make a centering pass. Just misses. Vaughn.
Man, and Vaughn would have had a wide open shot on that one if he could have corralled that puck. It was just bouncing too much for him.
Delayed penalty here, and it's going to be Utah Valley going back into the box after the 4-on-4 concludes. 6.5 minutes remaining here.
Well, here's a break for Idaho to try to close that gap a little bit more.
And it's Clark heading into the box.
Well, there's no question I expect to see Black and Paulson out here on that one. Those two are really, really offensive minded, so I could see both of them out there. Black is out there. Paulson's out there. We got Navari's out there. He's another solid hockey player for the Vandals. And it looks like they're sending out Will Garrett also. So they're sending out some offensive-minded players for the Vandals.
Midgarden has it. He looks for a cross pass picked off there. Wolverines now have it shorthanded in their offensive zone. Good check there by Paulson. As Black picks it up. Looking for a potential pass. Deflected there. Midgarden gives chase. Pass down in. Tross picks it up. Minute 25 remaining on the power play. Dumped back down. Wehausen has it. Lovely little move by Black as he's coming in with speed. Black at the left circle. Leaves it off for Garrett. Garrett's wrister saved by Coleman at the circle. Back out to Paulson. Paulson's wrister scores! Paulson with a nice little drag. Sends the defender by. Beats Coleman on the stick side.
And I think Coleman bid on that. They had Black down low on there, and I think he thought the pass was going to go to him, so he kind of tried to cheat over a little bit and a tad bit too early for him, and that was a nice shot, really nice shot by the Vandals. Who knows, Blake? 7-4, 5:36 left. It could be interesting.
No, we might. Who knows? We'll see. They can get one here with say you get 7-5, 3.5 to go. You get another one here in the next couple minutes. We could be in for a frantic finish.
And then you got to start wondering when the Vandals think about pulling their netminder.
I would probably have to say if you're still down 7-4 in the next 2 minutes, about 3 to go, I think you would have to probably do it, you would think. Down 3.
Conventional wisdom would say, yeah, but you might want to take a gamble early.
You got an injury here. That's Pimienta who's down.
Class act by Shabante. He went over there and make sure that he wasn't, again, he tapped it on the head. So very class act by him. Really, really nice job. The Vandal players up, they got the training staff from the Eagles hockey team out there looking at him. It looks like it's definitely a lower body issue he's having right now. And this is definitely what you don't want to see with
it's
5:07 left. Not only for the players, but also the Vandals are trying to get some momentum going on this. And so it's a tough break. Hopefully the Vandals okay. He's moving around pretty well. That waterfront I can see from my vantage point right now.
Yeah, it looks It'll be interesting to see if he'll be able to give it a go tomorrow. 4:48 remaining here. Is the blast out in front here. Idaho coming back the other way with Garrett.
There's a nice little hip check. Lost art right now. Nice job by the Wolverines.
Black leaves a check, sent back in.
I think that was
Vaughn.
Whittier that did that hip check. You don't see that much often anymore in this game, but it's an effective tool if you know how to do it.
No, you're right. It is a lost art for sure in today's game. Dumped back around by Shimbashi. Here comes Anderson. Anderson out in front. Great stop by Wiehausen again. He's been very good on those one-on-one opportunities.
He has, like I said, he's settled in after that first 5-6 minutes of that first period, and he's done really, really well. It's just that first half of that first period that's really hurt the Vandals today.
Idaho wins the faceoff, tries to send it around the boards. Centering pass towards Garrett. Picked up by Idaho as they're able to start to try and regroup. It'll be interesting to see. We're at the 3:35 mark roughly. Let's see when Wiehausen will be pulled, if he will be pulled. Sent around the boards. Wolverines continue to hold it in their offensive zone.
I would suspect that the Vandals will pull him as soon as they get control of the puck and start moving it out of their end.
Garrett has it. Yep, Wiehausen's looking at the bench, waiting for a signal. What's going to happen? Brought the other way. Lovely little move there. Big hit, and that's going to be a penalty. Lovely play there. That was by Midgarden. Looks like it's going to be Eisenstadt who's heading into the box.
Yeah, Eisenstadt wouldn't have done that. He would have had a clear break on that one.
You're on a power play now. Do you still pull Wiehauser at this point, you think?
I would look at him. Wiehauser keeps looking over there and keeps motioning. He wants to know if they want him to come off because it's in the Wolverine zone. It would have been a prime time to do that.
Wiehauser picks it up. Wiehauser loses stick. As here comes Paulson the other way for the Vandals. Good poke check there. Navari has it. Black has it back to Paulson. Paulson right here at the circle. Centering pass. Vaughn misses a great opportunity. And it's sent back down. 2:28 remaining. 1:25 on the power play. Doesn't look like they are going to pull him, it looks like.
Wiehauser keeps looking over there like he's waiting for the call, but nothing's happening right now.
Turnover there, short opportunity. Idaho has it in the neutral zone with Black. Black continues to probe. Black brings it into the zone. As at the left circle, he brings it around, looking for a potential centering pass. Finds it! What a stop by Coleman right in front of him. That was Hagenbaugh. It looked like he had a surefire goal. Coleman comes up big.
Point blank. Nice job by Coleman. He stood his ground on that one. Didn't at all go for any kind of fake on that one. That was a great save by him.
1:53 remaining. 52 seconds remaining on the Idaho power play. Black has it. His wrister saved by Coleman. Black has it right back again. Good poke check there. Black's able to pick it right back. Looking for a centering pass again. Garrett this time. Coleman with a lovely poke check at another point blank range. Paulson picks it up. Swings it out to Hagenbaugh. Looking for a potential centering pass to Black. Deflected out. 1:20 remaining. And that's going out of play.
One thing Idaho's really doing a nice job on this power play. They're putting a lot of traffic in front of Coleman, and Coleman's done a really nice job of really trying to look around the Vandals players because he's stopped 3 point-blank shots on the Vandals. So give him kudos for really holding his ground. But again, now he's out halfway, and he's just mentioning to the coach, and I'm surprised that they haven't pulled that right now, especially as much as they're attacking the Wolverines, and really Utah Valley's not sure how to handle this right now.
One minute remain. That shot's deflected out.
No, the Vandals coach just waved it off, but he's calling a timeout, so they may pull him at that time. But we kept looking at him for the last 2.5 minutes to figure out, do you want me to come? Do you want me to call him? And it didn't happen. So we'll see what happens with this timeout that the Vandals called. 7-4 the score with 57 seconds left, 58. Shot difference was 42-25 in the Wolverines' favor. So, but right now, Blaine, it doesn't look like Idaho's going to pull the goaltender. He's still on the ice.
And with 58 seconds to go at this point, I don't think they are going to at all.
No, but what you're trying to do is get ready for the next game. I mean, I think they accepted the fact they were going to lose, but
maybe use it as a practice tool, right?
Yeah, no question. Work, that's a great opportunity to work on your power play. But the Vandals coaching staff knows a heck of a lot more than we do about his squad. So maybe he likes what he sees and he's ready to go into the next game.
Right. Face off here, won by the Wolverines. All right, Gary, this one's about to conclude here. What was your overall takeaways from this one?
I'm still very impressed with Utah Valley. I mean, they've had some lulls, made a few errors, but they're still an outstanding hockey club. And the Vandals, I give them a lot of credit. They didn't quit at all.
That's a lovely wrister there. That's Bagshaw.
And that's my point. Utah Valley, they just don't stop. I mean, sure, they were a little rattled when Idaho got a few points on them, but they kept attacking the whole time. And that's just their game. They're just a really outstanding hockey club. The only way I think you could stop Utah Valley is if you can get a little momentum and keep the pressure on them and make them scramble a little bit. But Idaho was a game of good run in the last period and a half. You mentioned it, and they matched up really well with them. So kudos to Idaho, too.
.30 seconds remaining. Utah Valley leads 8-4. As this one's about to conclude here. Gonna be something interesting to see. As don't worry, everybody, 2 more games of hockey. And lucky for me, I get to go on break. Gary doesn't. He gets to go. He gets to call Eastern versus Santa Rosa.
I'm just glad you keep reminding me how many more games there are.
Absolutely. I'll be back on the call for Washington State versus Cal, so be on the lookout for that one. Once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Blaine Spencer with play-by-play, Gary Allen with color commentary. Our final here, Utah Valley 8, Idaho 4.